Welcome to Pit Stop for Profits, the podcast where hustlers, fleet builders, and entrepreneurs know that every pit stop is just fuel for the next profit move. I'm your host, Sterling, and today we're going to talk about a piece of technology that's going to be helpful for everyone that's in the car rental space, leasing, brokering, or pretty much anywhere in the car industry you fall. That piece of technology is the Bosch smoke detectors. So if you're a Turo host, or you manage a private rental fleet, or if you're doing any type of programs online where you're offering leases, that type of stuff, this piece of technology would be grateful for you because now we're able to set a new standard in how we protect our vehicles, driver accountability, and fleet integrity. So where I wanted to start off with, you're probably wondering, what exactly is a smoke detector? You're thinking smoke detector in your house. Well, the Bosch system, it's a little bit different than that. So the way the Bosch system works is it's a sensor-based technology. It sits under your car windshield, not your windshield, but under your car rearview mirror. And what happens is anytime someone smokes a cigarette, smokes a little MJ, or does any type of vape smoke, what'll happen is it'll catch the particles in the air and actually send a signal over to a web-based interface or to the app, letting the manager know or owner or whomever that's in charge of the vehicles that, hey, someone's been in the vehicle smoking. It gets so granular that it's able to tell what type of particle it was. If it was MJ smoke or if it was cigarette smoke, vape. It can even detect if it was fire smoke from outside or something, because we'd hate to inadvertently charge guests and clients if they weren't actually ingesting smoke in the vehicle. What's cool about the Bosch smoke detector is that it works with the rideshare companion platform, and it's more so designed specifically for individuals who are in the peer-to-peer driving sharing space or have rental and fleet vehicles. So what's cool about it is there are certain companies, if I'm not mistaken, like Zubie, who is a car rental platform, management platform. If I'm not mistaken, it actually syncs with companies like Zubie. So if you're already on their platform, already using them, then this could be a great addition for your fleet. Because if you're on Turo, you already know that it's extremely difficult to catch people who are actually smoking. You can have physical evidence, but oftentimes, if you don't actually have a tail of the MJ or that joint, or a tail of the cigarette, or a tail of a cigar, or a vape cartridge, or anything of that sort, then the likelihood of Turo siding with you on that case is slim to none. You have to almost catch them smoking in the act for you to get paid back any money. So from that perspective, I think that this technology is great because you're going to have much more tangible proof to provide to Turo. And the other piece is, let's say you do charge in the private space for private rentals, let's say you do charge your client, there is an opportunity or opening for them to then go back to the credit card company and do a chargeback against you. Now, if they do a chargeback against you, just like I know as a company, that you can't get too many chargebacks. You get too many chargebacks in percentage-wise in comparison to how many actual charges you're getting per year, that your credit card or debit card processor is likely to charge you higher fees because it's you as a higher risk, or they may possibly drop you. So the more chargebacks you actually win, the better you'll be. Now, I know companies like Stripe have chargeback protections and such, but you want to do as much as you can to avoid any of those types of issues or problems on the front end regardless. What I do like about this Bosch smoke detector and how it can help us out is, it helps in ensuring disputes. Once again, it stops your word against their word and it being so subjective, because a lot of times, for instance, if you submit your pictures to Turo, there's an actual human that's looking at those pictures. And so it's subjective. Ideally, Turo doesn't want to charge the guests because that's their livelihood. That's how they make their money. So if you piss off enough renters, you're going to get a bad rap that I was charged for something I really didn't do. On the other hand, if we look at this, Turo doesn't really want to pay the money and they would rather the host absorb that and just say that's the cost of doing business. But what hurts us is on the back end, the next renter who gets into the vehicle, they can complain and say, hey, the vehicle smelled like whatever smoke was in the car previously. And so now they're able to get a discount or cancel that ride with you. The other piece is, we're spending extra money, extra time, either doing it ourselves or paying a third party company to detail the vehicles or shampoo them or clean them. So it's very cumbersome. So, I hate to say it this way, but I definitely see the Bosch smoke detector as being another revenue source. I would even go as far as possibly raising the price on my smoking fees and smoking policy and cleaning fees to really discourage people from smoking in the vehicle altogether. Because, if you, let's just say, for example, you get 10 of these a year and you're charging, let's say, $450 for a smoking fee and cleaning fee. Well, and you might have just created a great revenue source for yourself. So I definitely see the upside and the benefits to having a smoke detector in your vehicle. I'm actually thinking about getting a couple for our fleet just to kind of test them and see how it works out for us. Because, like I said, if you're getting $4,000 or $5,000 per vehicle, and let's say on the low end you have 20 vehicles, well, you might have just generated a nice sum of money for yourself, $80,000 if my math is correct. So yeah, 4 times 2 is 8. Yeah, so $80,000 extra in revenue per year just off your fleet if you were charging $450 per vehicle. Another thing is, of course, this will support a cleaner customer experience. So it'll be less time you're actually going back and having to clean vehicles up or having a third party clean up those vehicles. And I think that it'll help in monitoring your vehicles. Because let's just say you're a company or individual that's understaffed. You may have, 20 or 30 vehicles. You may not be able to get to that vehicle right away that same day or even that next day. It may be 48 hours before you can actually do a thorough investigation of that vehicle to see what damages or issues the vehicle has. And so usually the longer you take in getting that evidence back to a credit card company or back to a peer-to-peer platform, it can look as if you're trying to get over, or why didn't you report this sooner? So no one's ever looking at on the back end to see or understand how efficient you are or aren't at checking in or checking out vehicles. The other piece is you can monitor individuals that are bad actors. So if you have individuals who have rented for you before, you can actually put in the notes of your rental program software, like, hey, this guy's a bad actor, and you can possibly ban them. The other piece is, once again, I'd say you have definitive evidence that you can submit to a peer-to-peer platform, letting them know, hey, this person has a habit of doing this. I can't see how you would lose that case now, right? Let's just say you don't have the physical evidence of ash or the tail of what was smoked or the actual vape carts itself. I would think that these platforms would be able to take in consideration much better now that you're actually using a physical device that's detecting smoke now. The biggest piece that I see for the future of ownership and accountability is automation. So us relying and leaning on these newer technologies and newer devices that are coming in the future, I think they're going to bring a lot more efficiency and adaptability as a whole for us, as well as accountability. Because once again, you have a lot of bad actors in our industry for whatever the reasons they feel that these vehicles are theirs, and they can do whatever they like. And what sucks for us is that I found that a lot of the uh, car rental space or individuals that rent vehicles, they found out that as long as they don't leave any type of evidence, it's going to be difficult for you to prove if they smoked in the vehicle or not. So it comes back to your word against their word. And you can even go on Reddit and different Facebook forums that, there's bad actors that are actually talking about getting in groups and discussing these types of things, which is unfortunate for us. So we have to do everything we can to protect ourselves from these bad actors. And I think that having devices like this definitely help out in the future. For me, I like to think that as we go on, as technology moves on, as technology goes on, that we find ways to integrate ourselves with it. So I definitely don't see this as a bad technology. I can see how it may be intrusive to the renter, but as a whole, some people are going to be upset about it. But on the flip side, I think that it would make a better ecosystem for your business as well as a whole, because you're cutting back on your losses. Actually, I was speaking with a gentleman who has a rental company, and he was contemplating, because I guess a lot of people smoke in the part of the country that he's in, and a lot of his vehicles were getting burn holes in them, in the seats, on the dashboard, on the ceilings. Because sometimes if people are smoking, they have the windows down, that cherry will, hit on the ceiling, especially if you have vehicles that are base models that have cloth interior or synthetic materials. And so those materials burn very easily. Even myself, I had just recently had a renter who ended up burning up the cup holder in the middle. I guess they may have had some portable ashtray or something, and whatever they were smoking on, they had it linked up against the cup holder. Several times you could see little indentations around the cup holder showing where it was actually getting melted. Of course, submitted my pictures to Turo, and of course they weren't any help in the situation. And the pictures were clear as day. They were extremely distinct, showing before and after that the cup holder looked perfectly fine before the rental. And then once the vehicle was returned, and this was something that was reported immediately. So in my eyes, I'm thinking, oh, well, this is, a lay down case. This is a slam dunk. I'm finally going to win one of these, because right now I think I'm 1 for 10, unfortunately, with reporting smoke, and a lot of people can relate to that. So, but back to the original statement, an associate of mine, he was looking to add cameras in his vehicles because people were smoking so much in his rentals. Now, in that situation, I think that can be a little too intrusive, especially for me. Like, I wouldn't want someone to have a camera in my rental car while I'm renting it. I may have my children in the vehicle. There's a host of reasons why I wouldn't want just the privacy, just from a privacy perspective. I wouldn't want to have a camera in the car, because I don't know at what time they're watching me or not watching me or doing something weird, or I don't know. People are awkward in this world today. So I definitely, I suggested to him not to do the cameras. I don't know if he went through and did the cameras or not, but that's not something I would do. That's not something I would want. And I think that it would be just a little bit too intrusive on individuals. But my plan is to reach out to Bosch. I actually got to see the smoke detector in person last week. I was at the International Car Rental Show in Las Vegas. And so Bosch actually had some on hand. I spoke with the reps. The reps were out there. They were showing some of the devices and illustrating how they worked, what they did. And I'm definitely sold on it. So I plan to get 1 or 2 of them myself, just to do a trial run, just to do a test run and see how they work for us, and if I can make them into another revenue source, really, because that's what it's about, is mitigating your losses and generating as much income for your business as possible, as well as being right and being fair to your clients and guests, and not allowing a small population of individuals to mess it up for everyone. So if you would, please let me know how you would go about, or how you even go about, stopping individuals or even preventing individuals from smoking in your vehicles, be it vape or cigarettes or MJ. And if you plan to get a smoke detector of some sort, not even from Bosch, but anyone who has one out there, getting some type of smoke detector or some device that would allow you to know if someone's ingesting smoke in your vehicle. Also, share what type of products you use to clean up that mess, or what your process is to get that smell out. I know that some individuals are using, I think they can get them on Amazon for like 70, $80 or $30 to $80. You can use ozone eliminators. I believe that's what they're called, ozones. So they're like a little box that you plug into your wall, and you close the doors, and I guess you leave it in the vehicle for 10 to 24 hours, and voila, the smell is out. So one thing that's a great device to use, I would think. However, if you had a rental 6 hours later or the next morning, what's the efficacy of that? Currently, what we're doing is the old fashioned way, is just having them steam cleaned. I find that works the best, and it leaves a nice smell behind after you're done. But you always still have this kind of faint undertone of smoke in the vehicle. So hopefully we can, as a community, find some way of eliminating this. But I definitely think that smoke detector would be a product that we're going to have in our fleet, an extra tool that we use. No different than having trackers in your vehicles. And I plan to make this a standard installation and a standard operating procedure within my fleet of cars. So, but leave a like, or rather leave a comment below, ask any questions, feedback, thoughts. I love to hear from you guys. And that's it for today's lap. I'm Sterling with Pit Stop to Profits. Make sure you check us out, like and subscribe. Talk to you guys later.